But I have a Crime Novelist deck, finally. Crime Novelist, Krenko, Baron of Tin Street, and then also a card I've been kind of dying to play with for a while. Enterprising Scallywag, which I feel like is just the missing piece for this archetype a little bit. So, after playing and building this deck a lot, like obviously people are very excited for the combo of Animation Module, Crime Novelist, and then an Artifact Sack Outlet. I think it's good to include these two cards, Animation Module, Grinding Station, in your Crime Novelist deck, because you're also basically always going to be a Goblin Engineer deck. And when you're Goblin Engineer, Agatha Soul Cauldron deck, being able to like get the combo going is pretty doable, but you're not going to win most games with your 3-card combo. But I have found that Crime Novelist is just a good value engine. If you're going to play Enterprising Scallywag, Goblin Engineer, Chromatic Star, you just like, it just makes a lot of mana and it gets really, really big. You also have Krenko to sacrifice artifacts too. I guess, should I read these cards? This is whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1 counter on Crime Novelist and add a red mana. So if you have Star already in play, you sack it, go up a mana, draw a card. They cycle for neutral sometimes. You sack it to Krenko. And then Krenko and Crime Novelist obviously also have a lot of synergy where it has haste. You can sacrifice an artifact, tap it, put a counter on each goblin you control. Whenever an artifact is put into a graveyard from play, you can pay red, make a 1/1 haste. So if you have both of these in play, tap Krenko, make the red from Crime Novelist, use the red to make another goblin. Agatha Soul Cauldron, like people have asked about Cauldron Goblins for a long time. Cauldron is like finally sick in this build, where it's tutorable with Engineer. Engineer is a good tutor target for it. You also have Prospector, Krenko, and your Walking Ballista, which you can entomb with Goblin Engineer as your Cauldron targets. Also have Dragon Engine as a like card advantage engineer option where you're like looping it, going kind of crazy there. Enterprising Scallywag, this card is super... I feel like most hands you have either want a Scallywag or an Aether Vial, so you can generate mana really well. This is like good Ragavan. It's like Ragavan if it was a goblin and if it was good. It's a 2-mana 2/2 at the beginning of your end step. If you've descended, make a treasure token. Probably not a lot card you have seen ever, but it's a card that I've wanted to play a lot, and I just haven't felt like I've had a good shell for it. But this is just also the perfect shell, a goblin that makes an artifact every turn, specifically an artifact that like sacks and like makes treasures make 2 mana with Crime Novelist, which is sick. I'm on a 4-3-3 split with Crime Novelist, Krenko, Matron. Novelist is like really good at multiple, so I think you just want to play 4. I was also trying to play maybe Heartless Summoning in a slightly different build of this deck, but this is first draft. So let's get going. Here. Okay, this is a sick hand on the play. Beautiful start. Yeah, we trophy with Timeless Lotus. I mean, I do think the deck is good. It's a deck that like I play a lot of Timeless Lotus, and we do well with it like basically every single time. I'm not telling you that Timeless Lotus is better than Amulet Titan, but there are some cool and interesting advantages of playing Timeless Lotus over Amulet Titan, and Archdruid's Charm is like a new exciting card that fits better into Timeless Lotus than it fits into Amulet Titan, in my opinion. Charm is a like really cool tool. But I think Timeless Lotus is underrated, but it's also not. This is not a deck I'm like all in on. You know what I mean? Dude, second Enterprising Scallywag? You're so dead. Decided to not play a Surveil land in this deck. Was very close to playing a Surveil land in this deck. I've tried to brew a Slag Fiend. It's not a card that I think is very good. Enterprising Scallywag trigger. It'd be very funny if they just removal spell on this, not just not having really read the card. Okay, they get a tapped Rogran Triumph. Assuming since you wanted to play a long time, you've already tried Novelist in Asmo decks and it wasn't very good. I haven't tried. This is my first Novelist draft. I've been more focused on other stuff. Novelist has also only been out for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You can tell. Probably would have Violin the Novelist next turn. Let's start off with an attack for 2. And then I'm going to cast Scallywag. It's countered, it's not that big a deal. Then I'm going to Violin Goblin Engineer, which will trigger Descend. And I can get Ballista. I think I'm going to get the Dragon Engine. And then we get 2 treasure tokens on our end step, which will make 2 mana each when we have Crime Novelist in play. Would Cavern of Souls be good? This deck has 4 Cavern of Souls in it. And it's Solitude a Scallywag, Solitude the Engineer. Don't really care about that much. Have the engine in the yard ready to go. I thought treasure tokens were good when they made 1 mana. Okay, let's go ahead and get in for 4. No moons. We're an Urza Saga deck. You can play moons. Sacrifice deck, which you're going to send. Descend is not non-tokens. We have 7 mana here. And also our Crime Novelist is going to get very big. I'm obviously a little bit worried about Supreme Verdict. Let me start off with Cauldron. Because now I want to go Goblin Engineer. I want to Goblin Engineer, put Ballista in the yard. And then I can deal a lot of damage with Cauldron Ballista in response to a verdict. And if they counter this Goblin Engineer, then we can maybe Cauldron the Engineer's ability. They do counter it. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to... Now, I don't have the ability to use Engineer's ability here because I attacked with both of my Scallywags, which I guess was maybe a mistake. We are going to be pretty cold to a Supreme Verdict, unfortunately. But they have to have Land Verdict as 2 of their 4 cards, so not the most likely, not super unlikely either. We can also just escape Dragon Engine next turn. Because we'll at least have 3 treasures. Dude, I know that this is the new card and the Krenko's new card. Scallywag is a card I really, really like. I think this card is very good. And I just have not found a shell that I've been super excited for it. But this card is sick. We pass the Gigant attack. I don't have it. Oh, I just totally missed. I don't pass it. I have Ballista. I had Giganta my first draft, and then I cut it for Ballista. And I was very torn on the one of Ballista versus Giganta, but Ballista just is so important. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go in my upkeep weld back Dragon Engine. This way I can get extra card. I'm gonna sack this. Although I guess I lose the mana from the Crime Novelist. Second Crime Novelist is interesting. I draw a card for turn here too. The Violin Crime Novelist. Then I guess if I want to weld again, let me do this. I also would like to be able to attack with Crime Novelist potentially. So sack a treasure for 3 mana. And then we go cast Krenko. This is such a good first showing for the deck. Sack Dragon Engine. Make 2 red mana. 2 counters on each of my Crime Novelists. If Ballista is not on the deck list, you have the wrong file. There should be a Ballista in the deck list. Or I have the wrong file. Someone has got the wrong file. And then wait, this also has haste. So now I can use this. Sack the Aether Vial. Do I make another token? Let's make another token. Not a lot here. I can sack the Dragon Engine, get back Star. My Crime Novelist is also just a lethal attacker here. Maybe we'd not make any more 1/1s. I have the mana to kind of keep going a little bit. Let's the sack Star for a card. And the mana. Go sack the treasure token before activating Krenko. That's true, yeah, to make some more 1/1s that have the power and toughness. It's kind of hard to know, like, are we going wide, are we going tall? Like, what's more important here? I guess I'm not gonna weld, I'll just unearth and we find engineer. I am just gonna now go to combat. What is even going on? Welcome to twitch.tv/aspiring spike. Oh, let me update State of Modern here. Wait, now they land by. Gonna take 5 and then I guess let's not overcommit too much. Get more treasure tokens too. Dude, Scallywag is good. It's good this game. Up a game. Shadowspear out. Haywire Mite in. Go for ring. Get the grinding station. The combo's probably just not something I'm gonna lean on too much. Did you make it yourself, Spike? Of course. Of course I made this myself. It took 2 weeks. Yeah, grinding station, crime novelist, animation module is infinite combo. I think we can still keep in the animation module for value. Yeah, we don't have value grinding station. It's keep this. I'm gonna keep this in every matchup against blue-white control. Let's do it. My stomping ground for the Haywire Mite. Does grinding station do something we want the bomb doesn't? Yeah, it's tutorable via Goblin Engineer. That's why we only have a 1 copy. Can Krenko Sword of the Meek be a thing? We still need like the artifact sack outlet, that's the problem. Spending my star or Chalice? Spending my star. Is there such thing as value grinding station? In the Semblance Anvil Mystic Forge deck, like grinding station to like manipulate the top of your library and feel like value. Usually not a value thing. A plus to fairy. Not Jim Davis, not paying echo on War Marshal here. I'm kind of worried about my opponent instant speed verdicting next turn. I'm gonna go Matron for Goblin Engineer. See Wily Goblin been better War Marshal. I mean, in the Urza Saga deck, the red is tough. But I agree, Wily Goblin could be better. But War Marshal's pretty good with Krenko. You get to go pretty wide. 4 cards in their hand here. We want to Needle the Ring. Ring is a card I'm kind of scared of in this spot. I think I might just get Aether Vial too. Vial will probably be good this game. So let's bait Counterspell on Agatha's Soul Cauldron since we have 2. I'm going to just cast Engineer, see if this resolves. If it doesn't resolve, we can Cauldron the Engineer ability, of course. I'm going to go ahead and grab Ballista here, I think. Well, Dragon Engine's also looking kind of good. Yeah, so there's not a Ballista in the Moxfield deck list, or... Okay. They get to use this as Graveyard Hate. That's pretty dang good. Damn. Oh yeah, this is not. This is, I guess this is my old 75 with Giganta. That's funny. Older draft. 8 cards in their hand. Go for a pre-combat Krenko. Subtlety. Try to kill Teferi, and then drawing the Dragon Engine is pretty bad. Able to tutor it up. Why is Blue on Days doing seems so bad? Well, combos with Narset, I'm also not a huge combo. It's okay. I think Grindstone will be okay print with him H3 with all the artifact hate out there. No soul lands, Goblin Engineer, Blast Mana Monkeys. I feel like Pan should be a cool addition to metagame. I don't feel like Modern needs more combos that like where one of the two pieces is tutorable off Urza Saga. And Prismatic Ending. So do I want to draw I go Island Engineer, put Ballista in the yard, Cauldron, Krenko, fortunately sack my the counter on each goblin I control, and Cauldron, Ballista, and then do I just randomly have lethal here? I have 6-7 pings, so they're gonna block a 3/3, and then they're gonna take 5 + 7. So not quite lethal. Yeah, obviously Painter would be somewhat fun, but I don't. You asked me if I thought it'd be a good addition, and I say no. If I think it would be. So starting off with the Leyline Binding, starting my Cauldron, we're going to just deal them 4. Kind of expecting follow-up Verdict. Unfortunate. Follow-up Verdict. 3 cards in their hand. 6 life though. Building out a little bit. I think I only have 1 fetchable left in my deck too. Also, you could play game 3. Blue-white when they ring at 6 life is not the scariest. This is what I would engineer for in this spot usually. They're gonna counter this. Yeah, drawing 4 lands off the Days and Doing was pretty tough. I don't have Giganta. I have a Ballista in my deck. If you saw Giganta, it was from an earlier deck list. They just choose to not use the ring, but now they choose to use the ring. So surely they're not taking 3 here, are they? Also, unfortunate to have not drawn Cavern of Souls and have to get. Maybe I could have just sandbagged this. Like, it would have been difficult to do that. I'll concede to a Solitude if they have Solitude. Good game. Game 3. I think the Decklist should be. Did I input the wrong list again? Yeah, no, it's in there. It's in the Mux field. Okay, game 3. Let's go. On the play. That Days of Doing was totally like. I had no chance to play around it. I'm gonna save the fetch land here for my Scallywag also. Okay, yeah, just exclamation point deck. 100. Once on a mulligan to 6. There is a card in our deck that prevents Giganta. You could have like a fun scavenger hunt if you want, or I can just tell you. Alright, that's it. Needle. We need the One Ring here, I think. Or maybe we have Teferi. Teferi's not so good here. I'm gonna name the One Ring. Yeah, Scallywag is really good. I think Scallywag could definitely go in other decks. I've been like kind of struggling on like where exactly you'd want to play it. There's a 2/2 that makes a treasure every turn. Is like it's like Ragavan that doesn't need to attack. Doesn't die to Bowmasters. And cost 2 mana. Draw. The rare activate Vial on turns 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, not only is this the first league with the deck, it's our first game, first match. I guess. Oh, I boarded out the grinding station. Otherwise, I could have gone for the combo, but still probably not going for it in this spot. I get grinding station off Engineer, module off the Saga, and Matron for Crime Novelist. Depending the Needle, why does they have a ring in there? Take a Saga token. Not gonna get Dragon Engine, I think. Cauldron? Be really happy if they'd Binding. I just get Haywire Mite. The Haywire Mite, the Leyline Binding, and then I get Ballista in the yard, and then I also have the ability to Haywire Mite the One Ring that it seems like they're gonna play. So here, why don't we go grab that Haywire Mite. Then Matron for Scallywag. Kind of weird, but I just want to cast a 2-drop this turn, and I think the 2-drop that grows my construct and gives me more mana. Seems like the 2-drop I should be grabbing here. So presumably they're going to cast the ring. If they cast the ring, I think I'm still killing the Binding. They could also have Supreme Verdict, of course. Bit of a pain. They don't have it if they are thinking. Did you kill Binding if they verdicted? Yeah, of course. I mean, not kill it, you know what I mean? You could put Dragon Engine in the yard or something. But yeah, now I'm still going to target the Binding because this Goblin Engineer can unlock my... I can go like Cauldron Ballista and like Matron for Krenko, put counters and everything. I can also like Cauldron the Mite, but I feel like I'm just gonna go in on like Cauldron Ballista, hopefully, unless they have Solitude right now, which they do not have, thankfully. Draw land for turns, probably helpful. So let's go Violent Matron. Grab Krenko. Cast Krenko. I think I just go to my instep. I can get this treasure token. Use one of my 2 treasure tokens. Then I guess I don't need to do this for both of them. I'm gonna Cauldron here. I guess it's, yeah. I don't know. I'm just not making it. So, wait. I meant to sack the vial. Okay. Okay, but we go sack vial now. And Cauldron Ballista. Certainly worth, not having Gigantha, it seems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. They're at 10, so, and like that's just like so much pressure against blue white. And they also didn't have Verdict last turn, they have to have it right now to like really do anything. But they wouldn't be a blue white gamer without top decking Verdict. Oh, we could have skirked for more counters, huh? I think we did 1 more damage. That being said, we do get to, if they tap the ring, we get to go Matron and then counter on Matron. They're not tapping the ring, so maybe that'll cost us. Although now I can just attack with my hasty 3/3. Great for showing. They're kind of a weird deck. It doesn't have a Vial, it doesn't have a Scallywag, doesn't have a 3rd mana for our 2/3 drops. I'm actually gonna mulligan by having lands and spells. Instinct is good. Let's go to 5. You just really want a Vial or a Scallywag, I feel like, in every hand. It does have both. Love the Matron. Against Merfolk? Merfolk vs. Goblins. Classic. Great draw. This card is very good. We'll play Timeless again, Captain, but I just have to like brew a deck in Timeless and then have it ready for same process for Modern, and Modern's just been really interesting. But I never like, play formats just to play them. I guess I should probably cast this Matron. For what? I guess Matron for Goblin Welder, or sorry, Goblin Engineer. Put a Dragon Engine in the yard. Oh, Timeless Lotus. Yeah, we played 2 leagues. I don't know. We played so much Timeless Amulet despite having like some sick new tech. I feel like we had a good stopping point for today. But that did look really good. I kind of wish like we could play it some more. We're also kind of limited on time this week. Today's like the last full stream of the week, and then tomorrow doing a short stream before I go to Chicago. Down to 6. 4 cards in their hand. Saloon. Take this up to 3. Violin, Crime Novelist. Cast Prospector off the Cavern, I think. Then Engineer, drag an engine into play, sacking the treasure, make a mana, put a counter on Crime Novelist. Draw 3. Stinkers. At least one of the lands was Urza Saga. Wait, I didn't descend? Huh. Was I supposed to sack Matron for... I guess I was supposed to sack Matron for a treasure. I thought for sure that surely I descended that turn. Animate Mutavault. Play Mutavault. Files on 3. Okay. So how are we blocking? I think I'm going to go Crime Novelist on Tideshaper. Dragon Engine on Mutavault. Then seems like Matron cashing in for 4 life is probably okay. Vialing into 3. The Glasspool Mimic to copy Master and Flashing a Lord? No, okay. Thankfully not also Flashing a Lord. Yeah, tokens don't trigger descend. I just thought for sure I had descended after taking that many game actions. Okay, interesting. So let's go. Certainly start with Violin, this Goblin Matron. And then what do we get? Another Crime Novelist could be kind of interesting. I'm going to sack my Vial, and then I'm going to put Dragon Engine into play. That's going to be my next game action, basically, no matter what. So having that extra mana after the draw 3 is pretty cool. I also get to like build up a big board. I could also go like Engineer for Cauldron, but let's get another Crime Novelist. Well, maybe I'll have like enough red mana after the activation of this. And I also still have the Prospector, maybe. Okay, so Engineer, Dragon Engine into play. Like 2 red mana, 2 counters on each of my Novelists. And we're gonna need to trigger Descend, so I could like Combat Trick counter on each Novelist if that was like really relevant. Draw 3. Goblin Engineer and Mogg War Marshal. Let's certainly play this Engineer. And then grab Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Or I guess we just get Grinding Station to try to combo kill next turn. And then maybe we die to Island Walk Enabler. 9. 13. We're dead to Island Walk Enabler plus Mutavault. They can do all that. We also pump our Novelist in combat if we need to. So no Island Walk Enabler. Feel like we're getting out of this. We can infinite combo with the Novelist and Animation Module next turn. Draw a ton of cards. Probably can't. We could maybe play around. Sidebinder. Could make a Saga token. If not, I guess. Grab Animation Module. Start off with Goblin Engineer, target Grinding Station, sacking Phyrexian Dragon Engine. And so Grinding Station, Animation Module, Crime Novelist is infinite mana, infinite power on the Crime Novelist, infinite mills. And infinite wide power to infinite 1/1s off Animation Module. Or I guess not, because you're sacking them each time. But could do something. I'm gonna bring in the Ensnaring Bridge. They want Pyrite Spellbomb. It's probably not that bad. Just gonna go in a bridge out of Mogg War Marshal, click submit. Yeah, this deck took forever to make. I cannot remember the last time a deck took this long to hammer out. Went through several drafts. I like nearly gave up several times, but man, is it looking good. That was a mold of 5 that game also. Maybe a little slow in the draw, but we're gonna keep. Or the aha moments going through different drafts. Well, I mean, I had a lot of it like ready to go when I started, but it's just like finding the right balance. Like the balance was very tough. Like being more in on artifacts, being more in on the goblin synergies. Like, is Mogg War Marshal a good card to play in this deck? Was something I struggled with for a really long time. But like just like after playing some, like War Marshal is just like so important in your Krenko deck. Like, those two cards just pair so well together. Adoth Rebirth instead of War Marshals. I mean, you just kind of need a density of stuff for Aether Vial. I mean, I think War Marshal is very good, but we also don't have, I think, quite enough for like Rebirth to be super good. We're not super far away, of course. Not a bad suggestion. I'm taking 6. Be chumping with some War Marshals this turn. Gonna play around Tidebinder by activating Vial on my turn. Scared of another Tideshaper for Island Walk. What else we draw? Let's cast a Goblin Engineer this turn. This way we have it like available to activate next turn, which I feel like is really important. And I'm gonna get. Am I gonna get Ballista? I guess I'm gonna get Ensnaring. Yeah, you could play Sword of the Meek. Obviously, like I've been like the whole time I've been wanting to play Scallywag in this deck. I think Scallywag's really sick, but I also kind of feel like I don't know if anybody's cast that card in Modern, but I've been wanting to play that card for a long time. Vertical Tempest Cauldron Bridge. They have Otawara, but I agree it's good against them. In both games, my opponents just like run out Tideshaper, and I kind of can't beat the Island Walk. Okay, so big turn here. The Violin Crime Novelist. I think we just start off and sack the Vial for this. It's kind of weird to want to get Dragon Engine, right? But I don't feel like my hand is going to get too clogged. I guess I'll still play on Tidebinder. And then... yeah, their creature's just too big. I can get Dragon Engine, everything's just a 4/4. Have to go crazy next turn. We'll activate this now. I think we're about to be 2-0. First league. Don't want to count too many goblins before they. What is this? Thieving Skydiver? Wow. Holy shit. I don't have an artifact to sack. And Thieving Skydiver. Crazy. Discard the Saga. Draw 3. And kind of too clogged with lands. But all their creatures are too big, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, 3 more lands left. Dragon Engineering. It is what it is. Like needs Intruder Alarm. Yeah. All these merfolk stuck behind the bridge. Okay. I have a lot of triggers here, I guess. Like keeping Star as a way to cycle the engine. Okay, guess no more triggers for us. I mean, I just have the Saga. I'm not going to play my land because I'd rather maybe play a land off of like the cards I draw here. So yeah, we can't infinite combo. We can just like ping them with a Ballista probably at some point. There's a Ballista. So back here, make 2 mana. I don't have 20 counters yet. I've got like 8. I have like 8 counters, 9 counters. 11. I also say like obviously things are looking good. This has been like I think a very nice first game, first match, first couple matches. But the deck is also very much in its infancy, very much in its first draft. Not gonna activate anything quite yet. 15. I have 14, 15 with the Cauldron. Let's see the Murktide matchup. That's probably interesting. Being a Cavern Vial deck is Cavern Vial Saga Shadowspear deck probably means so bad. Same thing with Rakdos. I also like having Crime Novelist, Scallywag, and Aether Vial means you have and also Prospector. You have lots of ways to make lots of mana, which it can oftentimes be a big problem for decks like this. But you have a lot of creatures that are really good to cast with Heartless Summoning and play. Yeah, this is also I've said this a few times, but this is definitely the best Goblin Engineer deck I've ever played. No more Heartless Summoning decks. That card will be good one day, huh? I mean, that Nazgul deck was sick. Did we 3-2'd with Nazgul and Heartless Summoning? Crime Novelist and Breach Artifact Storm deck, Baubles and stuff. This is a super half-cooked thought, I guess. Like, what is an Artifact Storm deck with Breach and Baubles? What, like, because Grinding Station Breach usually just does not play that many. Whoa, Magus Elemental? Love this deck. Like, you know, just gotta like saying this out loud sounds like it could be something, but the actual like meat and potatoes are really. I'm not sure what we're doing. Yeah, I think Stoop Goblins is good. We played it kind of recently, like a month ago maybe, and I think we played one league in 4-1, and it's a deck that I don't like to play a ton of because I played so much of it, but I think it's pretty underrated. Yeah, people are cooking post RC. That was a big problem too with like the leagues and the RC meta. Like, there's just so many people grinding Titan. They're playing an old brew of ours, which is just like a really sick deck. It was not a very good deck though. Probably gonna die next turn if I don't draw a land or blocker. You don't often untap with Virtuoso and the other person live. Okay, so I'm gonna Matron here. I'm gonna Matron for Engineer. Probably. I wouldn't fetch here. It's just to maximize drawing a land. Yeah, I guess it's fine. So this deck wins with like Ground Rift. Ground Rift is kind of like the big card where Ground Rift targets your Illuminator Virtuoso a ton of times, and then you get to connive for each time you target, which grows the Virtuoso, and then you like select your cards. You can like discard Lava Dart, flashback Lava Dart. Lava Dart the Matron. 4 cards in their hand. Sex the dart, target the Virtuoso, so they have to discard a spell, of course, but that shouldn't be a problem. I used to love this deck. It was like I had so much fun streaming it. Been like years at this point. They do have a Ground Rift, which we are probably not dead to because we have this Goblin Engineer to chump. But we're certainly in bad shape. We also get to exile all the copies of Ground Rift into Magus Elemental, so this should be 7 power, and this should be like 5 power double strike. And can they play a land this turn? They can maybe play a land too. I always hated this card. Okay, so am I going to take 17? I'm not going to. Let's go ahead and block 10 of the damage. Then probably going to go for Dragon Engine again. We can Cauldron the Engineer ability to get Dragon Engine into play. They could have presented lethal, but missed one copy of Exile in the Magus ACAC. I block. Down to 11. Tick up. Here's a Saga for turn. I'm going to cast the Cauldron, Vial and Krenko. I need to decide exactly what my order of operations is here. Because I'm going to get Dragon Engine back, and I'm going to pay a red to make a Goblin, which is bad against like main phase Lava Dart potentially. It's bad against another Ground Rift potentially because they can make me unable to block. Yeah, let's go ahead and just pass the turn. Yeah, if Magus lets you exile a spell on the stack to put 2 counters on itself. Homestead Courage, +1 counter, white to flashback. I think I played like 2 of this when I used to play this deck. It's nice to like connive into the graveyard. Does deck play Flusterstorm? Sometimes I played Flusterstorm on the side. When it's made some changes. I think I've played this card before. Oh no. Version Scathe for protection from red. Oh, but I have a colorless blocker. I don't think this. I think this card's like worse than Grapeshot for the most part. Because Grapeshot's just kind of more versatile. The rebound. I'll have to make sure I can block with a Dragon Engine again, maybe. Okay, so Cauldron Engineer's ability onto Krenko. Like it's so complicated. It was maybe not wise to have this be the second deck of the day because my brain's kind of toasted already. But let's weld this Dragon Engine into play, sacking this Vial. And then I could pay a red, make a Goblin. Then I have the red jumper for Virtuoso. I also get to draw 3 cards here. And Violin Mogg War Marshal to block the Magus Elemental, which is probably the better. Pick up the Vial next turn, put Crime Novelist into play. Can't pay red for this. Pick up our Vial to 3. Pick up Saga to 2. Vial and Crime Novelist. Play Mountain for turn. I'm going to bring back the Dragon Engine, sack the Vial. Wait. Oh no, I accidentally activated Krenko's ability. I guess I'm going to say no, and then... I guess it's less mana to unearth than it is to Saga weld like this. Bit of an oopsie. Let's say no to making another token until I know like what I can do off of the cards in the engine. Draw another Crime Novelist, another Scallywag. It's not really enough to do too much. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna go Scallywag, Ass with maybe the ability to like weld Engine back into play. Hi Spike, long-term subscriber, short-term fan here. I noticed that you make a lot of mana of the deck. Have I considered adding Fireball? The card is versatile. That's board control, being a finisher in the late game. Thank you for consideration. Please add the card or unfollow. You might have to unfollow built-in. Someone yesterday we were playing World Soul's Rage, and someone asked if like it was better than Banefire, which I thought was really funny. Might be able to beat Ground Rift. I think I can present 2 blockers against a Ground Rift. Because I get to go like Treasure, make 3 mana. Goblin Token, Dragon Engine for Grinding Station. Make a blocker off, make a token off Krenko, and then Dragon Engine the engine back into play. But I have to lose my Cauldron to do that. And I post a list. It's a deck I played a like long time ago on stream, like 2 years ago. An old brew of mine. I kind of changed it. Yeah, I was thinking about this was like the last version I played off stream. Kind of screenshot it maybe. I was like, I guess main decking Flusterstorm last time. Can't you build them next turn? Probably can. I'm just trying to get to next turn. You know what I mean? I played, you know, Boros versions too. I played probably like 10 leagues of this deck on stream. I really liked it in the past. And now they found Ancestral Anger, which is going to give trample to their Oso. You still survive? I can Cauldron Krenko's ability and then put a +1 counter on all of my goblins to get like a bunch of extra toughness. They discard Mutagenic Growth, which is bad because that card is really good here. And they have the Ground Rift. But are they going to be are they ground rifting their Virtuoso or are they ground rifting me? Does this have pro red? It can't have pro red because they're ground. My Dragon Engine can't block. And then the other 2 are targeting the Virtuoso, and then this is also going to become like 11 power. This is 26 trampled damage that we have to absorb. And we have to block the Magus Elemental. But I feel like going Cauldron Krenko is step 1. And then go to blocks. Was this untapped a second ago? Wasn't right. It got weird. I'm gonna go this here, this here. Right now, this is. Let's just see if it's enough, because we're gonna get to put a lot of toughness. I'm not sure how much. I guess I need to check because I can get 1 more toughness if I sack the Cauldron. So right now this is going to be. This is 12, 15. Oh, 15 tough. Enough already. I also can activate this. So this is. Am I going to kill this? Oh, is 15 one short? I don't know. It's soaking up 19 of the 26. Yeah, 15 is 1 short. 19 is enough, though. What a game. Yeah, these goblins are sturdy as hell. I guess we just attack. Right, surely we can get lethal here somehow. Yeah, if I just go tap Cauldron. Someone's just dead on board. They're just dead on board. What the hell? Why'd they make that attack? Krenko, baby. Krenko, sacrifice an artifact, put a +1 counter on each goblin you control, and then we have Cauldron, so these counters they can like keep, if they're untapped, they can sack things because they get a counter on each of them. Agatha Soul Cauldron. Okay, Chalice and the Chalice is just like game over against them, so we're gonna bring them in. Ratchet Bomb is probably too slow and feels like a worse target than Ensnaring Bridge. I think Shadowspear is also like they just go way over the top of Shadowspear. I'm gonna go ahead and trim it. Trim a Chromatic Star. Maybe trim the animation module grinding station. I think that makes some sense. We just went with like Ballista after we locked them out with Bridge. Great, gonna play Chalice on turn 2. Then Sunday, Mold a 6 on the play. Can't they run something Chalice triggers to get set up? Yeah, I mean it isn't literally 2 mana to win the game, but it is very hard for them to beat. I think it'd be too much doom posting to think Cauldron could ban in the future. I mean Cauldron could get banned in the future. Magic Online could die tomorrow. You know, it's just like who cares? It's legal now. It's not far away from being banned now. I could not recommend strongly enough trying to just not dwell on. In 3 years, can Cauldron be banned? Feel super far away from it at the moment. Could die here. Yeah, Modern Horizons 3 is going to come out in like 3 months. 4 months. The flashback darts, they're probably going to ground rift, which will be +10. Oh, I think I'm dying on turn 2. You can die on turn 2 also. Oh, this deck is so cool. I miss it a lot. One mana, 2021. Game 3 on the play. I'm gonna keep this. Pretty sure I'm playing Saga turn 1. Saga turn 1, Vial, turn 2, Scallywag, sack. Then we get Chromatic Star off the Saga. Extra mana for the Crime Novelist. Could be 2 less power, 2 less damage to dart. Yeah, they did 4 or 2 over my life total, so it would have been close, but not quite lethal. Party kill turn 2 with Niv Magus Elemental. It's basically Lumimancer. Yes, we can go get Chromatic Star, play Crime Novelist, sack Treasure Token 2 mana, sack Star up to 3 mana, and then cast Krenko, potentially. Virtuoso is a very scary card, though. Basic Mountain, I don't think changes my plan. Again, Violin Goblin Engineer. Don't see a lot of reason to do that now, but Engineer for Engine will get me some food going, and then I can sack the Treasure Token at instant speed with the Krenko and make a Goblin because I get the red mana from the Novelist. Could die here. Not super duper likely to. gonna be able to block pretty well, even if they have like Ground Rift. Leading on a Homestead Courage. Typically, I like to connive this away when I used to play this deck in these kind of spots, so I think this is kind of a sign of weakness. Or maybe they have too many creatures. Although, like, if their hand was weak before, like, they just get to loot a ton with the Virtuoso, that's not necessarily going to stay weak. Now they have Ancestral Anger for Trample. The last card is Ground Rift. We have a big headache, but we're probably not dead. Drawing this off the star was also huge. Perfect draw. Yeah, I had Springleaf Drum in an earlier draft of the deck and decided to not play it. Okay, so right now they have a 5 power Trample Vigilance. Probably need to put some power toughness in front of this if they have like Mutagenic Growth. Die. Grabbing Bridge. Maybe we should grab Bridge. I grabbed the Dragon Engine. I get to do so much with the Dragon Engine next turn, but yeah, maybe grab Bridge. So if they have Mutagenic Growth, this card is... If they have double Mutagenic Growth, let's say that's 6 power on this. This would be 22 power Trample, so I would have to block 2 things. Be double Growth. I'm gonna jump with my Scallywag, which makes me sad. I just get to do so much next. Okay, I'll accept nothing. Also, obviously, I didn't have to lose those goblins necessarily, but live to fight another day. They play a Swift Spirit post combat. This loses Trample, which is obviously a really big deal, and I get to Vial on the Crime Novelist, which is a big deal. Get Dragon Engine on Earth maybe a couple times this turn. I'll play the Mountain, although if I draw Urza Saga, I'd probably end up regretting it. So 2 mana. I'm gonna decline to make a goblin with this Krenko because I want to make sure I can use my mana to the best of my ability. Just draw Ensnaring Bridge. Well, it's a lot easier. Pass the turn. Yeah, they could have Monstrous Rage. It'd be a good addition. We don't have any answers to this bridge. I definitely should have got it over the engine for some reason. I was just like too focused on doing my cool new loops and stuff. It doesn't seem like their list is really too different from like my like very early drafts of the deck from years ago. We could have engined multiple times just by using the Unearth. Because we get mana from the Novelist, so it's possible for just Unearth the engine. Or if we draw Cauldron. Engine has been really good in this deck so far. Krenko's been good, Novelist has been good, Scallywag's been good. Just so many new cards in this deck. I'm pretty excited about it. We don't have any artifacts. Shout out to the engineering Scallywag that we chump blocked with. I really want to engineer my Dragon Engine back to play right now. Let's not. Let's not do that. Can you transform the dragon with the Cauldron having exiled a creature with transform and not having Thran? I have like literally no idea what you're asking, but you cannot transform this Dragon Engine without meld. 9 minutes on their clock. We have enough spare artifacts on Scallywag. A couple of synergies would be nice for that if we don't have Dragon Engine. Well, we have 4 Chromatic Stars, which I think are better than Synthesizer. We have 4 Saga. We have 4 Aether Vial. We have the Scallywags. We have a few other incidental ones. Yeah, I think curves. You just like I used to think like, and I guess I still think this, that you just do not want to play. Oh no, this gets exiled. Wait, I can just sack it though. But it gets exiled permanently. Maybe that was bad to lose it like this. It'd be that big a deal. Is it worth the sec bridge in a turn for Dragon Engine and get back bridge in your turn? Yeah, that was the better line. That was the better line for sure. Guess we can do baby Dragon Engine by stacking bridge for Star, get back Star end of turn. After. Yeah, under bridge you have Cauldron. Oh, they do have answer to bridge this turn. And I don't have Engineer up. Oh no, we thrown away this game. I also just have good blockers though, and they have 1 card in their hand. They also have 2 Lava Darts though. Oh, damn it. Into Emerge Unscathed for the win. Tough. I guess we could have beaten that by leaving up the activation to bring back the dragon. Are we leading on Mountain Aether Vial? They have Double Dart for Engine. Yeah, I guess we were maybe going to lose to Double Dart on Engine if we had taken the right line. Maybe we lose anyways. Sacrificing our lands to Engineer Krenko. But like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to play coding to turn your lands into artifacts to sacrifice to Krenko when you could just play a good artifact to sacrifice instead? I would play like, what's that card called? The one that would let us loop our Saga activations. Like, I don't want to play 1 copy of that card. I think we're making a Saga token this turn, and then Vialing Engineer for Engine. Probably, or I guess I get Grinding Station, and maybe I just combo. Like, I'll do that for sure if they just tap out for Agent, and then there's not even like a window for them to Subtlety or Force of Negation. Yeah, Power Conduit. I kind of want to play a Power Conduit or Hex Parasite. Oni Cult Anvil hasn't been suggested. I like Oni Cult Anvil. There's also like 2 more good red goblins with the sand. Stalker, and then the one that like croaks them ETB, where they have to like lose 3 life, discard a card, or sacrifice a permanent. I like that card too. I guess I can get in. No, I need to get the grinding state. Grab Grinding Station. I can even just make another Saga token if I want. I can combo off at instant speed. Debate. And there's just like not anything they can do about it unless they have Solitude. Some. I guess we say no to this one. I haven't actually had to click through the combo yet. I believe this is how it works. Sacrifice an artifact. Counter on animation module. Untap Grinding Station. Always yes. Always yield. They mill 3. Save targets. Yield. Sacrifice the servo, which sacrifice servo. Yeah, so. Cool. Very fast game after a super long match last round. We bring in these 5 cards. Also, Haywire Mite, because they're a binding deck. 6 is a lot of cards to bring in. Gonna cut the War Marshals. Matron number 3. Usually like Prospector against Rhinos. Vial number 4, since I'm cutting so many creatures. Okay. Oh, that is very funny. We actually get to counter the Crashing Footfalls because we mill their entire library. Oh, the funniest part. This. Ratchet Bomb plus Engineer is pretty hard package to have. Other Suspended Footfalls. Yeah, I think this deck is really. I'm pretty proud of where it is. You could play Mishra's Bauble. I have literally no idea how you fit 4 Mishra's Bauble into the deck. So you want to add Mishra's Bauble, you got to figure it out. I'll play Engineer this turn. I don't think I'm getting module despite me having Grinding Station. Maybe I am. I still have like nothing that's good to sack. Kind of feel like I really want Chromatic Star so that I have something good to like loop with the Engineer. That is. I think I have a Breeding Pool. They forced my Ratchet Bomb. You have a hard time this game. Another Sphere over Bauble. Yeah, I think or Sphere over Bauble. I mean, we don't have either. I guess I should probably have already popped this. Playing in a Tidebinder for no reason, but do it upkeep. I have one less opportunity to draw the Tidebinder. Yeah, I do think Star is better than. If you meant Star, I do think. And Bauble. They have Tidebinder in the sideboard somewhat often. Not in the main deck very often, but it's not clear to me that they should have no copies in the main. In Krenko be nuts and Pioneer Sack. It might be somewhat playable. Who would win? The best deck in Modern or one little Goblin Engineer? I'm waiting. I don't know. Little T would be kind of weird. I guess I can go Cauldron plus Ballista next turn. Around Violent Outburst a little bit. Although I could have played around a better board just waiting on the sacrifice. Yeah, I mean if they're just gonna keep jamming into my just not gonna try to break it up before they cast the Violent Outburst. That is that's okay with me. Okay with me. Counter on the Crime Novelist. 5. Yeah, you want Ratchet Bomb over Explosives for exactly this reason. When you're looping it with Engineer, it's 0 mana to sack instead of 2 mana to sack. Exactly why you have Ratchet Bomb over Explosives. Magic sure is a lot easier. Decide to not play around anything. We get a treasure token off this Scallywag. So I can engineer in my end step, so I can one. So I'm gonna go red, welder, star into play, sack the ballista. Then I'm gonna cauldron the ballista onto my engineer to save it from this fire. A little bit better, done this before my Scallywag. At the very least. Super divisive game. This deck, I'm feeling it. Three and one. First league with the deck. Lost a very close game to Boros Lumimancer. I'll draw. I'm gonna mulligan. You really want Vial or Scallywag, I think, in all your opening hands. Let's keep this. Not sure what I'm putting back. Either Prospector. The thing is, like, I need to keep, like, I can only put back Prospector or War Marshal, probably. I guess I could put back Matron. No, I need this Matron. Chewy with the 9. Thank you, welcome back. Put back the War Marshal, I guess. Somewhat close. I think it has to be one of those two. Yeah, I saw Dingo get all his lands boiled in one anyways. Put back land. Putting back land is very greedy. It could be okay. Okay, it was definitely right to bin the War Marshal. Obviously. Obviously. So we could turn to Matron potentially. I think I'm probably going to cast Engineer this next turn with the intention to, like, Violin Mogg War Marshal as a ritual. To assume we're up against Yogg, although Dingo could be doing some content. So I can get, I guess I get Grinding Station, which is a turn. This is a turn 4 kill. And against, if this is Yawgmoth, maybe they're probably going to play Bowmaster. Seems like I'll just do that. I'll block a Bowmaster if they attack with both, so that I can go Prospector, sack if they ping Engineer with Bowmaster. Not a huge thing. But I might not do that if I didn't have the Prospector. Although I guess I guess I'm just not gonna do that either way. I need this Engineer to get back my Grinding Station so I can win on turn 4. Yawgmoth is probably a pretty bad matchup. Plays a Grist. And sacrifices the Engineer. Plays around my Prospector. Will I trade Prospector for Grist? We'll see. We've got the option to, at least. Pick this up. I draw Enterprising Scallywag, so I guess I'm going to go Cavern on Goblin, Violin Mogg War Marshal, sacrifice 1, cast the Scallywag, trade Prospector for Grist, and then use one of the Goblin tokens to make a construct. We see weird turn. Do you have Shadowspear in the deck? Pick this up. I'm gonna look for no Saga token. Shadowspear. Equip on the construct, attack Grist. Thought about getting animation module for the combo. Grist down. Gonna cast this Goblin Engineer, get a token from Scallywag. I think I just get Cauldron. Oh, the 4 Scallywag is like the best card of the deck, or like this is the card I'm most excited for. It's been good. It's just like I think an incredible 2-drop that's kind of underrated, underplayed, something along those lines, but doesn't necessarily have a clear home beyond a deck like this. But I would love to figure out a more clear home for a card like this. Obviously, Yogg is pretty scary. Losing my Goblin Engineer. Like, I don't think I'd ever play this kind of deck without 4 Scallywags. Yeah, you could play like the Rakdos Anvil deck, but you know, that has not been a deck that like has been good for me either. This matchup's got to be really tough, unfortunately. Yawgmoth is always just so good against the other like creature decks. Got some needles in the sideboard. We lose our Scallywag. I guess I'm grabbing Crime Novelist. I don't really see any path to victory, but I don't see it with Krenko for sure. I think Dingo's reading it. Yeah, I looked at every single card in Modern that can sacrifice an artifact. You know, Atog was on that list, and not super optimistic, but it's a playable card though. Remember, you don't get to descend off of tokens going to the yard, so if it did, we could get like an extra counter on Crime Novelist, but it doesn't. So just gonna cast this. Hope the Dingo is incredibly flooded. Not incredibly flooded. Can see the Blood Artist. Slash cut through it. Okay. Next game. Needle. Anything else? Don't want Pyrite Spellbomb. We also have the Cauldrons, of course. Those can go a long way. Go. I want to get all the Mogg War Marshals out of here. So I think I'll bring in a Mite for their Cauldrons. Would love a 4/1. I think the decks look pretty good, though. We're pretty excited about it. Yeah, Mite obviously like the opposing Cauldrons it just gets so risky. It's a big headache. Both needles, only 1 land. Keeping this. Sometimes you'll want to lead on Saga. I think this is a hand where we're going to go turn 2 Saga. Good chance of some tokens. 1 of Lantern, maybe be a stone in the sideboard for this matchup in Scales. Maybe. We've had our poison picked, huh? I think I'm just going to go for the potential combo here on the play. New Krenko's been good. Uh, I've been happy with all of the new cards that we've had in the deck so far. Dude, Yawgmoth also just has so many disenchants post board. Sorry, I shouldn't have done this aggressively. Just kind of tilt. Wouldn't it be nice if there's like a Triskalavus that wasn't 7 mana because it combos well with Cauldron? I mean, you have Ballista at least. Yeah, they have Cauldron, Haywire Mite, looking like an L. Good run. Good run. I'll take a 3-2 with this deck. Obviously, Dingo could be really flooded and stuff, but this matchup also seems probably like your worst one. I have a green-red Emrakul through the Breach deck I would kind of recommend. Thought that deck was okay. We 5-0'd with Timeless Amulet with 4 Archdruid's Charm. I definitely want to play more Scallywag decks. I don't know exactly where else I want to put Scallywag, but I think Scallywag is maybe just a good modern card. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do a staring contest. Maybe they just do this in response. Kind of nice to have this in play. Yeah, there's only a couple deck cards that are like both goblins and artifacts. There's like a 2/2 that's blue and red. It makes your artifacts cost 1 less. And it's also an artifact. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff with Descend that has potential, I agree. If only we could have gone out on the last match instead of this one. That Rhinos match was so sick. Rectus mid with a slightly higher mana curve seems more reliable to ramp than Ragavan. Yeah, I made like you could put it in Scam. I don't know. I've been like thinking about it for a while, and like then they like spoiled Crime Novelist and Krenko, and I was like, oh well, I'll just kind of wait for these cards to come out. But I have been thinking Scallywag could just be good in other decks. Yeah, you could play the Inti Asmo deck. I don't know why I never really thought about that. Obviously, we like the Inti Asmo Roots deck, but we could try Scallywag just like in the mono red build. Would maybe be good in the Ring build too, because like, you get to like ramp into Ring on turn 3. Dingo is super flooded. Be a funny game to win. Oh, there's a Force of Vigor. I guess that makes too. Oh, that makes too much sense. Spice Fuel, 35 months. Let's go, dude. Welcome back. These kind of games where both players are like stumbling really hard, they can be kind of fun. Is this my Haywire Mite or their Haywire Mite? Also, I think it's theirs. I just don't have a like Trash Master, the goblin that like destroys an artifact in ETB. Maybe I should have those cards. I guess I probably should have attacked first. Yeah, I think Lethal Kadath Rebirth is just kind of a different deck. Yeah, I think so. Like, I didn't have Trash Master back when I had Gigantha. I also didn't have Matron, but I think with both those cards, I should have a Trash Master. There's so many like moving parts when you're building drafts of this deck too. It's just like one card comes in, like 3 cards come out, other cards need to get in. There's a lot going on. If we draw any artifact, we are going crazy here. Although Dingo has to continue to like never find a Yawgmoth. And also Dingo can't block that well anymore. He can block better now. Shout out to any artifact. Which kind of quickly translates into 2 artifacts here too, because I get the Scallywag one. Are we gonna win this game? Why would Dingo give me hope here? What possible good could come from Dingo giving me a hope? I'm gonna close my eyes and attack with everything also. Why would he give me hope that this game could be won? Lose my Scallywag. It's kind of okay. Engineer back. I mean, I don't care if I lose the Engineer, and I can't really get anything back with Engineer because of the Cauldron. Oh no, we didn't have good attacks. I guess it's not the worst. Yeah, it's fine. They're at 10. You have to pressure the Yawgmoth life total too, so like when Yawgmoth does get top decked, it's manageable. I guess Dingo's hand's just all like pick your poisons and force of vigors and stuff. Top decks a wall of roots every turn. GG. We won this game, holy shit. All it took was Dingo being more flooded than I've ever seen anyone get. I literally have Raid Young Dingo typed in the chat right now. I was so over it. And now we just have to play game 3. This is what happens when you just draw all disenchants. Like, okay, this hand is pretty good. Graveyard's a pick your poisons. Maybe Dingo's missing lands. Maybe already has a pick your poison. Likely missing lands. Looks like both. Let's name Grist. Mite's the vial. Okay, didn't really need the vial. I'm gonna grab a Dragon Engine. Then I'm gonna Needle Yawgmoth. Four cards in hand over there. Plays Beseiju. Probably needs the land drop. Thinking about attacking because he obviously has Bowmasters. Decides to not attack. Main phases Endurance. Maybe that's what I was thinking being thought about there. I guess that would make some sense. Interesting pickup. This has been just the weirdest game ever. Weirdest match ever. Cast a Halfling and a Cauldron, which can be very scary against my Needles. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Oops, all Crime Novelists. For the second game in a row. Gonna be a tough one, y'all. Chromatic Star is the best draw by a lot. It's got one card in their hand. So I send everything at Grist. Sorry, I meant to cast the... Sorry, Esther was in here and I just chatted, I guess. I meant to play the Scallywag, obviously, so I could get my artifact in play. Could be a hard game to win. Long stream today. It was like the whole point of attacking in the first place. Yawgmoth in play. Tough game, weren't winning anyways. Dingo got full value, or not punting, but just losing game 2. That matchup seems tough. Bodes poorly for the Goblins deck, but I think a pretty good showing overall. I'm excited about that one. Go watch Dingo. I'm going to go get some chores done. Short stream tomorrow, also. Short stream tomorrow.